So on today's Card Academy lesson, we're going to be going over a wonderful displacement move by Bruce Servan. Bruce Servan was a wonderful magician that studied under Guy Vernon, and this is from his book known as Ultra Servan. I don't want to say it's a hidden gem in the world of magic, but unfortunately we've come to the point in time where books like that were used to be books that people would devour are now somewhat dismissed. So I think it's a great book for you to look at, and this is just one of the many techniques that I learned from there. Now this move has multiple different uses. Here I'm going to show you guys how to use it as a means in order to do an ace assembly. However, as you're going to see, it's a very useful move. So for this, we're going to be using the 4 aces as an example. You could do this after you've done a 4 ace trick, but ultimately you're going to take the aces and place them at the back of a face-up deck. Now you're going to mention to the participant that you don't have any extra aces in a deck, and you're going to do so by doing the following technique. Now for this, I'm going to be needing to displace 3 aces. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to count off 3 cards into my hand, and then I'm going to notice, you know what, that's going to take too long, so I'm going to start spreading the cards. So these cards are actually going underneath the spread as I'm spreading the cards to the spectator, showing them that we don't have any extra aces. Now at some point, I'm going to spread all the way through until I get to the aces. Now here, for this particular trick, I'm going to need these cards, which I've been writing underneath the spread the entire time. This is almost reminiscent of that self-working spread call that I taught you guys in a previous lesson. But what this is going to allow me to do is that now I could spread these aces, and I could spread 3 of them into this right-handed half with these cards underneath. So if I don't drop the deck, you could see these 3 cards are directly underneath, and now in squaring up the cards, I'm actually placing those 3 cards under the aces. So I have 1 ace uppermost followed by 3 indifferent cards, which is a very powerful position to be in. So let me repeat that one more time. We're showing the participant that we don't have any extra aces in this deck. You can see this is just a deck that has the 4 aces that we used in the previous trick. Nothing special about that. But here we're going to use the 4 aces for a trick. In this case, we're going to put them on a table like this, and here you could proceed with the following trick. And notice the situation that we left ourselves in. We have 3 indifferent cards over here and 1 ace that, if you haven't noticed, I cleverly let turn over as I place the cards on the table. So as I've placed these on the table, I've just surreptitiously turned this ace over just to reinforce the fact that yes, they are still the aces. Now, it's best if you do this in a way that doesn't look like you did it on purpose. So if you do it by accident, it looks even better. Something like this would probably look better than that. So here, all I've done is that I've apparently placed the aces in a row on a table. Now these aces are over here. A very easy way of adding them to this packet without really showing anything is to lift up more than 6 cards. So if you lift up approximately more than 6 cards and turn these to a face-up position, it's not going to matter how many cards you actually turned over because you're only going to show 3. So in this case, I've turned over quite a bit, but this is a nice way of not having to actually get a break underneath the cards, turning over a chunk of cards and showing them to the participant. So now if you've noticed, I've shown 3 indifferent cards, and really, I have the 3 aces here in the back. So if I take this opportunity to square all these cards up and turn all the cards, in this case as 3, I can now thumb these cards off, put them on the aces, and now I have added the aces to this last pile. So this is pretty much already done. Now at this point, you can do the exact same thing. You're going to cut, you're going to turn over 3 cards this time and very cleanly place them on this packet, cut the cards again, repeat the action 2 more times, placing this on top, and then lastly, showing one last group of cards that you place on top of this. Now at this point, you have a freebie ace assembly. If you want to just snap your fingers, bring these piles together and show the fact that we don't have any aces and that all the aces have appeared here, you're more than welcome to do so. If you really want to stretch it out and pretend like you're sneaking each and every single card individually, that's something you could also do. In this case, you could just take one card like this, wave it, and show the fact that that one's gone. And then this one, you could do a down-under deal. So I deal 1 under, and then I turn this face up, deal 1 under, turn this face up, deal 1 under, turn it face up, and then lastly, show this one to be gone. I like for the last one to be a little bit of a bluff, so I pretend to palm one of the cards and show the pile not to have any aces here, the pile rather, and then you could show under your hand you don't have anything because you didn't take anything, and of course you can now reveal that the aces have moved away to this pile. So it's just a freebie ace assembly that I'm using as an example to show you what you could do with that displacement technique. In his book, he uses it in the context of an absolute banger of a trick called flying aces. I suggest you pick it up and you look at that routine. It's a great one because you take the aces one at a time, put them in the middle, they jump to the top. Ultimately, you take all the aces, put it in the middle, and it jumps to the top. And the displacement move really does a great job in putting you in the right position. Now, another way of doing this move is from a shuffle deck. So you don't have to have the aces on the top of the deck. You could have them in the middle. So in this case, you're going to be doing the exact same thing. Let's just assume that for the sake of explanation, we're going to need to displace 3 cards. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to count off 3 cards. We're going to start spreading the cards and notice the aces. In this case, I've noticed this ace over here. Then we're going to outjog the remaining aces. Now taking them and showing them to the participant. Now I'm going to take them, remove them from the deck, and put them in the same position as before. So I'm going to place them on top of the deck, but really remember these cards are riding along the spread the entire time. So now all I have to do is just take those cards and put them between the uppermost ace and the second ace, and now I've displaced those cards exactly where I need them to be. So this is a wonderful technique because it's done in the context of removing the aces. So you've done pretty much all the work in order to do the switching before anyone knows that anything has taken place. So in this case, we have 1 ace followed by 3 indifferent cards. Now, it goes without saying that this could work the same for however many cards you need and wherever you want to place them. So if you want to displace only 2 cards and you want to spread them, showing the participants that we don't have any extra cards, there are no extra aces in this deck, and in this case, I need to have those cards in the middle of the aces, you're more than welcome to do the exact same thing. So now what we've done is that we've added 2 indifferent cards to this pile of aces, and these aces remain on top of the deck. Very, very powerful move indeed. Also, a little bit of an addition here. If you want to add the cards on top of the pile, you're also more than welcome to do that. So in this case, we have the aces on top. I could show the participants that we don't have any extra aces in this deck. We have a couple other cards that are, in this case, extras, like these weird jokers, but we don't have any extra aces. Now, in this case, all I've done is I've taken 3 cards, and now instead of placing them in the ace pile, I'm actually going to place them on top of the ace pile. So now I have 3 indifferent cards followed by an ace. So for this, if you want to do an ace assembly, at this point, you're more than welcome to do that, but it leaves you in a perfect position for certain types of tricks that might need this displacement. So I might as well show you that flying ace routine. I'm not going to show you how to do it, but I am going to perform it for you so you can see how it looks like. In this case, I want you to see, sir, that we don't have any extra cards in this deck. We don't have any extra aces. The only aces that exist are the aces that we've been using here the entire time. So for this, we're actually going to do a small little trick. I'm actually going to do a trick with each and every single one of these aces. So this first one I want you to see is going to go in the middle of the deck, as clear as day. Watch, if I stick it in, snap my fingers, do a little bit of a move, that card actually jumps to the top of the deck. I know, astonishing, but I'm going to do it one more time just for you, sir. I'm going to do it with this ace right here. I want you to see I place that card in the middle, clearly going in the middle, square it up, snap my fingers, and of course, that ace jumps to the top of the deck. I know, you can't believe it, which is why I'm going to do it again. Watch, look, I'm going to take that card, place it in the middle, as clean could be, just to show you how terrible I am at coming up with pattern. Snap my finger, and guess what? That card comes to the top of the deck. Oh yeah, my friend, one more ace to go. This is your chance. This is your last chance to catch me here. That ace goes in the middle of the deck. Watch this. Oh yeah, my friend. I know what you're saying. Can I do it with all the cards at the same time? Yes, I can. So if we take the aces and put them in the middle of the deck, just like that, square it all up, snap my fingers. Are they all going to come to the top? Yes, they do. Yes, they do, my friend. And that's Bruce Servan's Flying Aces. As you can see, it makes excellent use of that displacement move, as well as some other subtleties to make a wonderful routine where the aces come to the top one at a time. But that's the lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys do the move. Again, it's very, very useful. Even if you're not going to do it for an ace assembly, it's still a powerful way of adding cards wherever you need it. And again, please look at that book. It's a great one. Thank you guys for being members of the PigCake Card Academy, and I hope to see you on the next lesson.